Just a little history as to why I'm running. I'm a veteran. I served 14 years in the United States Army, 4 combat tours overseas. And once I returned back from the military, I wrote our congressman a letter. He responded inadequately to my liking, and I saw that if he would respond in that fashion to someone who's willing to stand up and to speak up, what is he doing to those who don't have the will, don't have the desire to do so? And I was raised by my grandmother, my grandparents, and they taught me the difference between right and wrong. Right now it appears a lot of people are getting right from wrong confused. We'll take the truth, they try to bend it, twist it, flip it, and turn it. No matter however you do it, you can't change it. And so I realized that truth here in the 3rd District of Alabama is we don't have representation. It's very simple. When we think about, Tuskegee being the oldest African American community, one of the oldest African American communities in the United States of America, and to know that Tuskegee University could use a lot of resources. Well, the guy that I'm running against, he voted against $84 million to send to Tuskegee and Talladega colleges and other Hispanic universities across this country. So again, if we have an individual who's holding the office, and he's held that office for 5,110 days, that's almost 14 years, almost equivalent to the time in which I served in the military. And it's like apples and oranges when you compare the two. When you compare selfless service versus self-service. I've selflessly served my country, and our congressman has selfishly served himself. And so I stand before you today, not as a perfect individual, not as an individual who think I'm more holier than thou or better than anyone else. I'm just one, as Mr. Frazier, as Chief mentioned, someone with the guts to stand up and to understand that I will be, and I have been under strict trial and strict examination for a long time. As black people, as black men, we're always under strict examination. Whether you want to be examined or not, you're being examined. So I have 3 sons. I have a 21-year-old son, an 18-year-old son, and a 9-year-old son. So every day I stand and I speak to people, and I stand up and try to present what's right. I choose that, and I use that as an opportunity to audition to be their role model. So my goal for doing this and my reason for doing this is not for me. It's to make sure that my kids and my grandchildren have the best opportunity. And oh, by the way, because all of you reside in the area in which I'm trying to represent, I want all of your children and grandchildren to have equal and fair representation as well. I'm not a politician at all. I was a federal investigator for the Defense Department. I worked in the fatality division, and that's what I did. I investigated fatal accidents. So when we think about being able to find out root causes to problems that we have, I've identified a lot of root causes. And the fact that people are here and they care about voting rights. We know the Voting Rights Act, 51 years ago, they were fighting to make sure that blacks didn't have the right to vote. Well, guess what? Today, they're fighting to make sure you don't have the right to vote. You know? And I campaign every day, and I talk to people all the time, and I hear the same message that I've been hearing, is my vote don't count. Oh, my vote doesn't count. Well, let me give a little news flash, and then I'll get off my high horse, if you will. There are over 324 million people in the United States of America. And if we look at the clock, the population clock, there will probably be a person born right about now. So I say that to say they're keeping track of how many people live in the United States of America. So if you say your vote don't count, it doesn't count because you're marginalizing. It doesn't count because you're choosing to take your voice away from yourself. You're choosing to hit the mute button on your own voice. So I just stand here seeking the opportunity to stand and be your representative in the United States Congress. And not just represent you as a black man, although I will be the first African American to hold this position. It's not about that. It's about being able to represent the right and the wrong, to stand up for what's good and to stand down and fight against what's bad. So thank you for the opportunity. And I have flyers here, and I'll definitely pass them out, looking for anyone who would like to volunteer, who would like to be a part of not only bringing change to Tuskegee, but I was a delegate on the national stage. We have an opportunity to continue to move forward with the influence that I've gained on the national stage and bring that attention right here to Tuskegee, Alabama. This is where it belongs, and I plan on being here. Although everybody votes straight Democratic ticket, I didn't have to come here, okay? I was told everybody in Tuskegee, I won last year 84%. Well, 2014, I had 84% of the vote, thank you. But it does me no good. It does our communities no good if we can't put a face with that name for the individual who's fighting for us.